It's an important part of our life. I think the moment we are born, conversation takes place. The first word, which is normally quite unknown to everyone, is the word "ah." I don't understand what that means as well, but I think it could either be you're very happy or very angry to come out of your mother's womb. But conversation or talking with someone normally stimulates us and provides ideas for us to also explore our ideas with other people. One of the things about conversation that's very unique is that it fulfills a very human or very basic needs of us humans, which is human contact, and allows us to have human contact with another human. Because normally you wouldn't be talking to a wall or an inanimate object. And one thing about conversation, every friendship that has enriched our lives begin with conversation from the first word hello. Sounds like a SDU advert. Conversation also plays a very important role in the success of our lives, and also I think for very successful people out there, they are top-notch conversationalists. Most successful people, they share a very common characteristics, and that is they can carry a conversation on with practically anyone. Throw them into a room full of strangers and they'll leave that room with lots of contacts and lots of new clients or clients to be. Conversation, the thing about conversation as well is also it involves taking a risk. Each time you get into a conversation with someone, when you speak to someone either on the phone or face to face, you risk something. What is that risk? Well, especially with someone new whom you haven't met before, you risk making yourself very vulnerable, because sometimes having conversation means opening yourselves up to the other person, and also means there's a possibility of you disclosing something very private about yourself, things which you do not want to make very public as well. Or even sometimes when you have a conversation with someone, you may think, oh, what if I embarrass myself? What if I say something that the other person is against? Or what if I say something that might insult him unknowingly? You know, there's a lot of what ifs. Or what if they don't respond positively? So, what can we do to actually give ourselves an advantage when striking our conversation? One of the main things, or maybe it's very important to maybe firstly understand the different levels of conversation, or how a conversation actually takes place. Level 1, you start with the small talk. So small talk, you could talk about the weather, talk about surrounding, talk about current events, you know, Obama just won the elections, Chinese New Year just passed, oh, the weather today has been lovely. These are small talk. Basically something small just to size up the other person, and if the other person sounds okay, you know, if he happens to react to your small talk conversation, then you carry on to the next level. Which brings us to fact disclosure, where you disclose facts about yourself. You talk about things like, not very personal things, maybe things about your occupation, talk about your hobby, what car you drive, whether you like to sing or not, that sort of thing, or you love to speak, love to go running, that sort of thing. Then if it's okay and the other person reacts to it, then you go on to the next level, which brings us to viewpoints and opinions. This is where it starts getting quite personal. You know, you share with the other person, my personal viewpoint is this, I think Obama shouldn't be president. Or about politics, you share about mutual acquaintances, oh, I have a fellow friend from another school that used to beat me up, you know, things like that. Then if it's okay, you get to the fourth and last level, which is right down to the deep core of conversation, personal feelings. This is where you start talking to people about your personal problems and your concerns about the future. Good techniques in conversation is a very learnable skill. Well, just like me, I used to be shy last time. In fact, I'm still quite shy, as I think someone attest. Really I am. But the good thing about being a good conversationalist is to be a good listener. That is one key point. So some of the techniques to being a good conversationalist, firstly is to show genuine interest in the person that you're chatting to. You have to be interested in what he or she is saying. The other thing is also you have to have a reason for your conversation. So if you're talking to someone, you know, you have to tell them about the people, or let's say, oh, I hear you are a nuclear physicist. I've always wanted to know what a nuclear physicist is all about. things like that. And also you have to make the other person feel comfortable when you have a conversation with them, because you smile, you know, don't look at them like that and put your hands up and go, yes, what do you do now? Okay, are you working? Right, how much do you earn? You know, you appear warm, go close to them, you might want to lean forward, go closer, encroach on their private space a little, but not too much, otherwise, you know, they might think you're up to something. Also, like I said, you have to listen carefully. Now, we are born with 2 ears and 1 mouth, so in the same instance, we should use that proportionately. Listen more, talk less. I think a lot of us love to talk about ourselves. Most humans do, at least. And most humans love to share about themselves, tell other people more about themselves. So learn to listen, because people love a listening ear. Also, you have to give them time to think when you have a conversation. Don't just talk, and then don't give them time to think. You know, otherwise it's useless. It becomes a one-way conversation. It's sort of like you just watching TV where the TV talks to you. It's not like you having a conversation with someone. Time to think also means like talking time. It's more like instead of having a you talking time, just you chatting away, you should have a you talking time and him talking time, and also you should have a thinking time where you allow people to think. Also, having a good conversation is essential when you have to practice your tone. I remember when I went to a sort of a blind date conducted by my dad. He organized a date for me, incidentally, asked me out for dinner, saying, oh, so-and-so uncle wants to really meet you. I said, oh, okay, free dinner, why not? Went along to it. So I sat next to this lady who's the daughter. The daughter speaks like that. So I could hardly hear what she's saying. So I asked her what she said. What do you like to do? Oh, I love to eat. Oh, you love to eat? I really love to eat. What sort of food you like? Chinese food. So after a while, when she was talking, I started, you know, nodding away and being really bored. This was a true life incident. And then, luckily we found a common topic, which was food. So we carried on. Luckily, the conversation started off on a semi-good note and ended off on a good note because two of us ended up liking food together. But nothing came out of the relationship or friendship. Anyway, so, most importantly about conversation is to also use open-ended questions when you speak to someone. Instead of asking them, oh, are you working? So they say yes. Do you work till 5? Yes. Are you earning above 2,000? Yes. Do you like talking? Yes. You know, you can ask them open-ended questions. Ask them things like what, why, how. How do you find the recent political situation in North Korea? Something like that. Or what do you think of the recent deliberation between President Obama and the PM Lee? Something like that. Things like that. So that is one way which you can utilize good conversational techniques. So now, I will have a little conversation with my secret friend who will come along, and we will, this is not rehearsed at all. We haven't practiced what to talk about. We've only practiced what the scenario is. So the scenario is we're at a bus stop, two of us, only two guys at a no bus stop. So come. So my